Why, hello, friend. How are you?
Hello, friend.
How's your day?
It's good. How is yours?
Good. I'm starting to get a little bit of the Sunday scaries, to be honest. But,
I
Sunday night, getting ready for
know.
Monday.
What do we do? How do we twist it to a positive, not Sunday scary?
Yeah.
I haven't figured that one out yet because I still get them.
I did think, okay, tonight, when I feel this way, I'm going to sit down and think about what are my top priorities for the week and what do I want to accomplish. And then that always feels good to like, for me, I write it out and then I check it off through the week. And then that helps me feel very accomplished. So I thought I would do that a little bit later tonight. It's just like sit down and think about what's in my head for Sunday scaries and see if I can prepare. What do
Yeah,
you do to prepare?
I don't know. I don't.
Mm,
I don't think I even deal with it. I think I try to replace it with stuff that I need to get done, like
mhm.
laundry, and
Yeah.
it helps with bugs being like all over the place too.
Yeah. When you're doing your
So
laundry, you mean you're just shipping it to your mom?
Mom doesn't do my laundry. She does Bugs's laundry, not mine. Although I'm sure
Oh,
she would.
I was gonna say, you gotta talk her into doing all of it.
I'm sure she would, but no, I do
Yeah,
my own laundry.
that's so funny. Well, this week has been kind of a, like, cluster of a week. My house is 78 years old here in the Bay Area, and a few years ago, before we bought it, they flipped it, but the house is old, right? So, like, while it looks pretty, its bones are kinda old, right? So, this last week, I'm literally not kidding. We had like 3 plumbing issues, an electrical issue, a rodent issue, like all in 1 week. Our master toilet wasn't working. We had a leak under the house. We had a gas leak and had to call 911 and sit out at like on their front lawn, which is actually a thing still. So we had to call the plumber, right? Because the plumber does the gas leak, the plumber does all these things. So we literally have a list of 3 things for this plumber to come and do, and we like this plumber. We like the company. My husband knows the guy who owns the company, and then they just send us random plumbers. I'm not kidding. We are sitting here and I was like working, and the guy, I can hear him like halfway across the house sighing loudly, like, oh, oh. And I'm like, what is going on? And I can hear him saying, oh, I'm doing a really good job. Oh, I'm working really hard.
What?
Whoa. Mind you, I come out and Johnny's, like, entertaining him and, like, make sure he's doing it, and he fixed our gas leak because, like, that's the most urgent thing, right? To fix the connectors where the gas leak was on so PG&E can come back and reconnect our gas so we can, like, have our whole
Yeah.
house is ran gas. Well, the gas leak was off of our water heater. So, he fixes that, and I get off of another meeting, and I go, and I'm like, "Okay, so is the plumber doing the master toilet next?" And my husband's
Mm.
like, "Oh, no, he left." And I'm like,
What?
"What?" And he's like, "Yeah, he left." And I said, "What do you mean he left?" He said, "Oh, he said he's too tired. He's only gonna do 1 job today."
What?
He was too tired, so he left. Literally was here for 3 hours, sighed the entire time, talked about how hard he was working the entire time, and then picked up and said, "Alright, I gotta go." Yeah, I've never had that happen before. So
Is he
mind
yo
you,
is he young?
no, he was an older guy, but not older, like probably late 40s, early 50s, our age, so
Like, still
not.
has our work ethic, or should anyway.
Well, he doesn't, but he should have our work ethic. Yeah. So he came on the site for 3 jobs, at least 2 I had hoped would get done, and he was tired and left after 1. I've never had
Well,
a
I don't.
situation like that before.
Yeah, I don't deal with construction at all. Chad does. I'm sure Chad would be like, "Oh, yeah, that's par for the course. Yeah, of course,"
You'll have to ask him, is that
'Cause
normal
that's
for.
ridiculous. That's the whole thing with the construction thing, like, when we start
Yeah.
adding on and, I don't understand that whole mentality of, like,
Oh,
I don't know, putting the faucet upside down, like,
yeah.
things like that, and leaving it, and you're like, How in good faith did you put that knowing it was upside down and then just walk away and act like that it's not that big deal? So now you come in and you have your faucet that's upside down. And Chad says
Well,
it
it's like
happens all the time, and I'm like, "I
that's what
don't
I'm
know how you do that."
hearing. It's funny because now that I've told people that story, because I was like, how weird that my plumber was like, "I'm tired, I gotta go," right? And I'm like, "Who's after 3 hours like, ah, peace out?" And it was super annoying because our toilet in our master bedroom
Ugh, I think
is,
I'm having a hot flash.
I hate that, getting
Ah,
sweaty.
yeah.
It's literally, like, not flushing well, so it's like Mexico. We have to, like, pour
Oh,
in a bucket of water so it'll flush, right? And
oh.
so I'm like, "Dude, we need this guy to come back and fix this toilet because I don't know, last thing you wanna do is go and take a big old poop or something, and then you can't flush the toilet, and I'm, like, dumping water in the toilet so
No.
it'll flush." Yeah.
We before Chad changed the toilet, and he never thought that was a big deal. I always thought it a big deal, but when we bought the house, there was a toilet that you had to literally hold the flusher for 7 seconds before it would go down. Like,
What?
how annoying is that?
Nobody
Every
wants
guest that would go in there, I'd be like, "Don't forget to hold the flusher for 7 seconds or else it's not gonna flush." And Chad's like, "It's just the way it is, like, it's an old toilet." I'm like,
no.
"No, that is not normal." Like, there
Yeah.
has to be it's
No.
either our pressure, it's either our little jingy thing. I don't
Yeah.
know, whatever it is, but, like, this is not normal. I don't go into other people's house and they don't say, "Hold it for 7 seconds." Like, that is so terrible.
Can you imagine the amount of anxiety your guests have when it won't flush?
Well,
They're like,
that's the
"Oh my
thing.
god. Oh
That's
my
the
god."
thing. Like, already, like, if someone doesn't wanna poop in someone's bathroom, we have 1 bathroom, so
No.
they're afraid that you're gonna hear it, number 1.
E
Number 2,
exactly.
they're like,
Not gonna
"Oh
flush.
god, it didn't flush, it didn't flush. I got a floater. Now what? Now I gotta wait for the whole tank to fill up again, and then you gotta hold another 7 seconds." I know.
Oh my
This
god.
is why I was like, "We cannot have that many guests over because, like, we need a normal toilet."
Yeah.
So
So luckily you
finally, we
guys
got
fixed
one.
it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got
we
a
just
whole
got ours.
other new one.
Yeah, we just got ours fixed too, and we got a new one that has like a more efficient flusher, and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
thank God." It's
because
just
I was
nice
like
to have a good flushing toilet.
and we can't have those stupid ones. I can't stand those ones that are like pee and poop and
Yeah.
they're round circle.
Yeah.
Because like my finger,
Can't go
it's
in there.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Like
Totally.
it's
Yeah.
totally bad design. I think it's a bad design. And the
Like
thing is now, when I do my joint education classes and even spine education classes for like sitting down in a toilet, we always talk about raised toilet seats.
yeah.
And there's so many different variations of toilets nowadays. You just don't know, like I don't think the oldie timey, like just raised toilet seat works on everything. So I'm always like,
No.
oh, I don't, because they're like, we have this type of toilet. I'm like, that's definitely a first world problem. I don't know what kind of toilet that is, but I'm sure if you look on Amazon, you look at the specs, I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out,
Yeah.
you know?
Figure out a raised toilet option for your fancy toilet.
Speaking about well, that's you know what? This is a great speaking about toilets. So and whole body, right? So
Mhm.
I did this whole body thing and it's all about preventative medicine and kind of screening and all these things. And I'm usually pretty good about all the screening things. And so I have my mammogram scheduled. I do my mammogram all the time. But I think I mentioned last time I went to the doctor, I need to get a colonoscopy. And that was the
Mhm.
thing. And since I don't have any colonoscopy or colon cancer in my immediate family,
Nice.
doc was like, Cologuard is fine. And I was like, all right, great. I don't want to, it's just the hassle of scheduling a colonoscopy, taking the day off, having someone drive you, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, perfect. I'll do the Cologuard, comfort of my own home, not a big deal.
Yeah.
But it sat in my living room for like probably, I don't know, maybe like 8 months because I think I mentioned this last time is like I wanted to have like a really good poop. Like you
Yep.
have to it can't be diarrhea poop. It can't be like I mean
Constipated
I don't
poop.
constipated poop, then you probably get drops of like hemorrhoid blood. I don't know,
Right.
right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I really want a good poop. And then like it would come and like you'd feel it. And then I'd be like, oh God, now I gotta set up this thing. And then I have like
Yep.
poop anxiety where it's almost like if I have to poop and I know I'm having to wait, then it's like really urgent. Like it really
Right.
has to come out. So I read the Cologuard thing on how to set it up before. So I was prepared. And
Good.
we only have one bathroom. So it's not like I can just leave that thing in the toilet. I had
Right.
to do it right then and there. But listen, that thing is not for everybody's butt. Like, maybe mine is a little on the larger side, and maybe that's why, but I think everybody's poop hole is like a different
Space.
is different.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
gotta be different space because that thing that goes under the toilet, I was so freaked out that it wasn't in line where the bucket was. Because I was like, "Am I too far back? Am I too far forward?" I didn't want the poop on the edge of the bucket because then
Right.
that's gross. How
Yep.
am I supposed to do that?
Yep.
And then I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too far back either.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I don't know about you, and yes, maybe this is because 'cause I'm older now, but, like, when I poop, I also pee, and you don't wanna have pee in the bucket. So, I was like, "Dang, this is a
It's
coordinated
hard.
event. This is a very coordinated event," and I wasn't quite ready for it. So, I literally had to take the apparatus out,
Yeah.
pee, hold
Put it
my
back in.
poop, then put that thing back in and hope that I didn't have, like, a PVR, like a like stuff in my bladder still, so when I was so when I was pooping, then no pee would come out because I don't know really the distance between my pee and my poop hole, so I'm like,
Right.
"This is terrible, like, this is the this is the worst ever," and then you're pooping, but you don't have, like, audio feedback, you don't have, like, audible feedback because it's going in this bucket. It's
Yes.
not plunking, it's not it's you're not getting a splash on your butt after the poop goes in the water. Nothing.
Gross.
So you're like, did I do it? Did I not do it?
Right.
And then I was like, "Oh, boy," because then you poop in that bucket thing, and then you gotta
Yep.
get, like, the like, culture stick
Scoop it out.
and stick it in the thing, and, like, I
Yep.
was okay with that. It was kinda not great. It's still a little on the gross side.
Yeah.
And then, like, I laughed so hard because then the bucket thing is, like it reminds me of, like it should have, like, a radioactive, like, seal on it because it's, like, this bucket, and you put this top on, and you, like, screw it, and it's, like, really thick plastic, right? I'm like, "Okay, I did it. I hope that was a good one." Like, I don't know,
Right.
and I didn't get it right in the center. I was a little off, so
Oh,
it was a
no.
little on the side part. It didn't get on
Yeah.
the rim. So I was like, "All right, fine." So then I put it back in the bucket, in the box,
Uh-huh.
and I seal it all up, and I'm like, "Okay, so now you gotta take it to UPS." Like, it's in the same box. It's in the same Cologuard box that you
Oh,
put
so
it.
now everybody knows you're dropping shit off,
Of course.
literally.
How does everybody not know that you have poop in this box? Like, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're like, "Oh, I know what this is, and you just pooped in this
Exactly.
box." And there's a UPS, and I was like, "Okay." So I get to work, 8:30, 9, whatever the day, it depends on the day, and I park outside, and it's hot, and I was like, "I have to take this poop before I go to work because I don't want to sit in my
Your whole
car all
car is
day
gonna
long
smell like
and
poop.
get hot." Like, what if it
Yeah.
gets hot and it, like, melts or something? Like, I've gotta
Mm-mm.
get rid of this poop in the morning.
Yep.
So, I was anxious about that, and
Oh
then I
my
was like, "Oh
god.
my god, is this poop gonna smell in my car? Is the
Yep.
valet guy gonna start, like, saying, 'Dang, doctor,'" he calls me doctor even though I'm not a doctor, like, "Oh, doctor, so are you okay? Like,
Smells like poo in here.
something's going on. Did you step in dog poop or what?" So I took it in and I, like, had this, like, weird smile, and, like, the guy behind UPS counter, like, looked at me, and I swear to God, he was probably like, "Oh, I know that this poop in the box." And I almost was like, "Here's my poop in the box," just to, like, make
Yeah.
me feel better, but I didn't, and I was like, "Okay, I'm sure it is what it is, it's fine." But yeah, so and it came back okay.
Good.
So at the end of the
Good.
day, it was clear, it was and I was like, "Oh god, that whole thing." Nobody tells you about that. Nobody tells
No.
you about how you have to coordinate it and how it's
Yeah.
just little and the thing hurts your butt. It's not soft plastic.
Oh, because you don't put it underneath the toilet seat and then
Yeah,
sit on the toilet seat?
yes, I had put it on the toilet seat, but again, I think everybody's butt is different because I felt like the hat of the plastic.
Really? Interesting.
But
That's so interesting.
maybe it was my toilet. That's the thing. Like, maybe it was the shape of my toilet. I don't know. I don't know where
Mhm.
Chad got this new toilet that now flushes like normal, but I don't know.
Well, because like, I've seen Fit Kit, and then in the Fit Kit, which is different than Cologuard, you just lay down, like it looks like a, shit, like a
Shit.
drape, like a drape, a shit drape. But no, like essentially kinda you put it in and it's waterproof, but it's like it can be flushed. So it like floats on the top of the toilet. So it's okay if it gets like water and stuff on there because it's like a little bit above. And then but the challenge with that one is people are trying to scoop it while it's like bobbing in the water, right? It's not like a hat per se.
Yeah,
That's why I do colonoscopies because
yeah,
I don't wanna do any
no.
of this.
You know what? Like, so I think so what is the deal with Cologuard? So what's the whole thing with Cologuard?
Yeah, so Cologuard, I always have to look it up. Cologuard versus Fit Kit are different, right? So Cologuard is good who like if you're average risk like you are and you want to do it less frequent than Fit, but you don't want to do colonoscopy. So Fit Kits usually are annual because they're the cheapest. And Fit Kits are just looking at blood in the stool versus Cologuard is looking for I always have to look it up. It's stool, DNA, and blood. So it's looking for altered DNA from cancer or polyps and hidden blood in the stool. And it's every 3 years if negative. That's the value of Cologuard. And it's higher sensitivity versus a fit kit is only looking at like stool blood. So it has to be done annually because it's less sensitive to
Sensitive.
cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you have, like, really bad hemorrhoids and stuff, then that can do a false positive, right?
Right, right.
Versus a colonoscopy is every 10 years if negative, unless you have other risk factors, and then it can be every 5 years. So
Yeah.
but obviously, that's considered the gold standard, but it is the most invasive, obviously, because you're actually having a procedure, but it is by far my favorite. I would opt for a colonoscopy every time. So
Yeah, I think my next 3 years, I think I'm gonna do a colonoscopy. The only thing
Mhm.
about the colonoscopy, I think, is the prep, is the
Yeah.
terrible prep. I
Yeah.
think that's the challenge.
Yeah. I think
'Cause
it's gotten better though. I will tell you, so I have to do one every 5 years, and this last year's was the most, like, pleasant, I guess. They have you take a few pills like Gas X and some other shoot, I'm drawing a blank on the name to
stool
kinda get you
softeners, like
going.
Folase?
Yeah, you have to take, like, a handful of stool softeners, and you still have to drink some stuff, but you're not drinking, like, the 2 gallons of Go Lightly anymore.
Yeah,
You're drinking, like, I think it was, like, I started my Go Lightly at, like, noon, and you drink it from, like, noon to 8, and then you have your
I try to
procedure the
scratch my
next
ear
day.
again.
I
Yeah.
do that all the time. Today, it's right here as my head itches, so I keep scratching my head. But the great thing is also that you feel totally like 5 pounds lighter. You
Oh, I'm
feel
sure.
squeaky clean after,
Yeah,
and they put you to sleep, which
yeah,
is amazing.
yeah, you get the propofol
Amazing.
sleep. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
love it.
definitely think it was the whole scheduling it, the day
Yeah.
off, the
Yeah.
ride, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, but I mean, at this point, I think yeah, I think that's kind of the way to go. The other
Mhm.
so now too is like to get into the small intestine, or if you're to get into the small intestine, they actually can do the capsules where you swallow.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you guys doing that? Do you guys do that at your hospital?
We do that at our hospital.
Cool.
One of our friends that we both know, her father needed to get one,
Mhm.
but little tidbit, if you have a pacemaker, they have to have a certain type of camera.
Oh,
So, yeah,
really?
yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not sure what the whole correlation is, but you do have to get a certain type of camera for if you have a pacemaker. Um,
Interesting.
and you look at those camera things. I think they're pretty cool. I'm surprised that they don't do them for the
Mhm.
lower colon, the
Maybe
lower GI.
someday.
I'm
Yeah.
sure, but
I'm
it
sure
seems
it
pretty
did.
cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you finally did it. I know we talked about it ages, literally ages ago. We've
Yeah,
talked about how you
I
needed to
know.
get this done, but I could see how it'd be, like, awkward. And it feels super awkward to, like, drop it off at the post office and know
Yeah,
people know what it is,
yeah,
and the whole timing around it would be, like, super awkward too. So,
but I think it's a good test, obviously it screens is better
yeah.
than the fit. I don't even know what that is, but the other kinda thing I is fiber, right? So, like, they talk about
Mhm.
fiber health, like colon health with lots of fiber and increasing your
Yep.
fiber, and especially now that I'm in this whole take care of myself era, preventative medicine era.
Love it.
Fiber is a huge thing where you have
Mhm.
to have your intake, and honestly, like, I think they think for me anyway, they're recommending, like, 35 like, the nutritionist was like, 35 grams of protein I mean, of,
Fiber a
fiber a
day.
day. I was
Mhm.
like, "That's a lot." I mean, I don't even
Yep.
know. So, I got some powder, but,
Oh, did you get the powder that he recommends?
yeah.
Oh, good.
I haven't tried it yet because I can't
Okay, I
figure
was
out
gonna
because
say,
I
let
have
me
so
know.
many friggin' powders, like, I don't know I already put collagen in my coffee.
Yep.
I put creatine I'm taking creatine. I put creatine in my
Oh,
water. That's
nice.
another thing. So that's another thing that I don't think Matt told me that, but I think another
A
person
lot of
when we
people say creatine.
yeah, and not
Mhm.
just for, like, muscle building, but for, like, brain health,
Yeah.
for cognition and brain health and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and there's some that are better. You know what's a really good app to look at all your supplements is called Suppco, Suppco.
Oh, really? And it
Yeah.
tells you which ones are third party tested and which ones
Yeah,
are
and it gives you
quality?
a grade on it, like, it's excellent, good, very good, and they're
Nice.
all and you can I don't think you can buy them from the app, but at least like,
Mhm.
what it is, and they have, like, this thing where they can stack it, like, they call stack your stack, and, like, you can put in certain parameters, and obviously, there's a paid version of this too, but I think the
Nice.
non-paid kinda gives you an idea of where you should be.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
it was actually it's a really good app. So, but, again, you're taking 1,000 supplements, and I don't really wanna take
Yeah.
1,000 supplements, but for the osteopenia, vitamin D,
Yep.
and,
Calcium.
calcium, but there's
Mhm.
also, like, vitamin K. There's, like, something like
Mhm.
K3 that actually helps the calcium get absorbed.
That's
So
awesome.
it's like, this kinda combination type thing. And
Yeah.
magnesium is recommended as well for bone
Yep.
health. So with this one supplement I'm taking, it's by Thorne. I love the product Thorne, honestly.
Yeah. Thorne is third party tested and a
Yeah,
really great
yeah.
quality supplement company.
They
Mhm.
get really high marks on this app, and so there's
Mhm.
this thing called oh my god, it's called, like, Advanced Bone Health or something like that, and it
Ooh,
has the calcium and the vitamin D and this, like, K, but it doesn't have enough calcium,
okay.
so it's recommended that I either eat the calcium, which they want you to. I have obviously
Mhm.
I mean, the
Natural
best way to get all
sources.
of these things are the natural sources. But
Yep.
if not, if I'm deficient, then I can take an extra calcium, and they recommend an extra magnesium, and at least at
Nice.
night.
Yeah.
So it helps like sleep and it helps muscle relaxation, all that kind of stuff.
It also helps with regular bowel movements. So my
It
GI
does.
has me take,
But
magnesium
is it the glycinate?
Oxide. No, I
Oxide.
take
Yeah.
magnesium
Yeah.
oxide to make which helps sleep with sleep and mood as well,
Yeah.
but, it's really, like, for gut health as well. She has
Yeah.
me take one. It's interesting though, I need to talk to my dietitian, that and I work with because, I hear just so many different supplements, like, you should be taking
I
turmeric,
know.
and you should be taking ashwagandha, and you
I
should
know.
be taking magnesium and probiotics and all these things, and so sometimes I'm like, well, if I end up doing that, I'm gonna have a tackle box of
Yeah.
supplements to take, right? And so, like, how do you choose which ones are like for you? You're like, okay, I have a diagnosis. This diagnosis needs these things, right? For
Yeah.
me, I don't have that, but I
But you
recently
will.
feel yes, I actually
You're gonna
might
have
have it.
something.
I've
Yeah.
actually not ever had a DEXA scan, so maybe I too have
You
osteopenia,
haven't?
right? No, I haven't done it yet. But the other thing I was thinking about is like after I like was sick and I've had some time off, I noticed that my gut is not as happy and healthy as it should be. So I
Yeah.
recently was researching like, okay, you got to take better probiotics. You needed some people say like you should be taking turmeric helps with that for some reason, but it's more like anti-inflammatory type
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was reading all these different things that you should take to kind of get your gut health in a better place. But again, the list was like 30 long, right? So I was
Yeah.
asking Chat GPT the other day, like, Chat GPT, here's my health history. Here's the things I'm worried about. Here is the supplements I think I need and the hormones I think I need. Like, what can I take together? What can I not take together? Because that's the other thing is like maybe you're not supposed to take it all together. And maybe certain things impact others negatively?
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's
yeah,
definitely like one that feeds on the other, just like I was saying, like a better absorption of one versus the other,
yeah,
or foods to stay away from that something
yeah.
interacts, that kind of
Kind of
thing.
interacts or blocks. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I think, everybody can get, I mean, this is why in surgery, we just recommend everybody to stop the supplements 7 to 10
Yep.
days because people you're taking supplements all day long.
Yep.
Like you're
Mhm.
taking 5 in the morning and then 3 midday. And there's no way I'm going to be compliant with that because I
Yeah.
can't. I'm not that
Exactly.
consistent with things.
Yeah.
So in order for me to remember, because now I'm on thyroid, I have to get my
Yep.
thyroid levels checked. I haven't done that, but now I'm on thyroid, and you have to take your thyroid in the morning on an
Before
empty
you eat.
stomach before you
Mhm.
eat. So I
Mhm.
literally put it right next to my bed.
Yep.
So that way, that's the first thing that I do when I wake up.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the rest of my supplements are by my coffee pot. So I remember to take them when they're by my coffee pot.
Yep.
But you can get all crazy. Like, I don't know.
You need to get third party tested creatine, but
Yeah.
creatine, our dietitian was telling me that creatine is like one of the most studied like it's been out
Yeah.
there forever.
Yeah.
There's a million studies on creatine
Very
and
safe.
it's very, very positive in the studies. And really there's no negatives to
Yeah.
creatine is what he was saying. So
I just get the unflavored creatine. I don't know if it comes in flavors or not, but I just stick it in my water usually
nice. Yeah.
just because it's there and I'll be drinking
Yeah.
it. The other thing that I will say, talking about gut health and talking about poop, is I have been taking, and this might be snake oil too, but I've
Mm.
been taking those gruns or gruns. Have you heard
Oh,
of them?
and I do. I just started them a few weeks
You
ago,
did?
but I stopped them because
I'm
they were
obsessed.
hurting my stomach so bad. I have a whole bag
Ah,
I'll give you. But again, I don't know if my stomach's like I for the last few weeks have been very bloated every day. My stomach hurts so bad and I have cramping every single day, but I don't know if it's tied to
huh.
because I started those grunes right about the same
Yeah.
time, but I
Yeah.
stopped the grunes and I'm still having issues, but I got the lemonade ones. They're delicious.
I didn't have the lemonade ones. I got the ones in the green ones that I get at Target.
And they're super good?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're good. They
Mhm.
do smell like vitamins when you open it. It smells
Yeah.
like I want bugs to eat them because I'm like, "They're gummy bears," and he was like, "No way."
He's
Like,
like,
they
"Those don't
smell
smell like gummy
yeah, those
bears."
are not gummy bears.
Have you noticed any positives from taking them?
Yes.
Tell
I
me about
swear,
more.
like a normal bowel movement. Like, I feel
Really?
I have to take them at night because I feel like it really gives me a good bowel movement, so I do it in the morning
I
before I go
love
to work.
that.
Yeah, I do
I'm gonna
too.
retry them because I've spent the last 2 weeks, like, really kind of focusing on my gut health and, like, taking the probiotics, and
Yeah.
I was taking, like, some digestives, and I was doing the Yakult shots,
Oh,
those
yeah, yeah,
yogurt
yeah.
shots and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
to
yeah.
try to get
Yeah,
my gut in a better place.
yeah.
So I told myself, like, once I felt like my gut health was a little bit better, I was gonna keep trying them because I have a whole bag of them. So
And they're sweet, so it's almost like a little sweet
like
treat at night.
candy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love them. I'm a big fan, but I think someone said, "Oh," but, like, there was some, like, review saying that they weren't anything more than whatever, and I was like, "Well, I don't know, I think they work," and if I could get bugs to take them, I kinda feel like it's like super greens and it's like
Yeah,
greens.
so that's your Groons. I'm gonna retry them. I, of course, bought them from the Groons website because I didn't know they were at Target, and so I
Yeah,
got some, like, pink raspberry flavor, which
yeah.
they're delicious.
Those are a
So
new one. You know which ones I did get the other ones too, and I'm not sure that they do anything different, are the nootropics, where it's like the ashwagandha, like, focus. It's almost like
Oh,
mushrooms, and they taste good too. I don't know.
they're gummies as well?
Uh-huh, they're gummy bears too, but they're supposed to help
Hmm,
you like, it has like, I actually just got some today. Chad's like, "Seriously, you get something in the mail every day."
ditto.
And I'm like, "I know, it's
I
fine."
bought ashwagandha pills, but then I was, like, up to 3 ashwagandha pills, 2 turmeric pills, 2 probiotics, and I'm like, "I can't take all these pills?"
Yeah,
So,
that's why I think okay, I'll show
let
you
me
what
see
these
them.
let me open them.
Nootrops?
Yeah, but it's from the Grunz family,
Oh,
and they're called nootrops, Nutrops, and it's
okay.
supposed to be, like, for focus, and they're like ADD? No,
For all of our adult ADDs,
yeah,
because we all have it.
I know, I swear, I have it too. Well, no, I don't think I have it. This
I
is what
think
they
we all
look
have
like.
a little bit of it. Oh,
So it has cordyceps, lion's mane, reishi, maitake, chaga, and coriolis.
so a bunch of mushrooms and
So a
stuff.
bunch of more mushrooms. Yeah.
Yeah, but
They're
they
vegan,
say
gluten-free, nut-free, dairy-free, caffeine-free, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors, non-GMO.
yeah, we at Whole Body have been, like, tracking our data
Good.
and
Good.
being able to track patient outcomes and stuff. So, like the 20 people who've gone through, well, we've had more than 20, but 20 is who I have data for so far. 8 have diagnoses of osteopenia, and all 8 people were not of an age where they would have been eligible for a DEXA
Yeah.
scan. And they would have had, another 10 to 25 years before they would have maybe got that DEXA scan. And by then it's no longer osteopenia, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and so we can make a lot of lifestyle changes, just exactly what you're doing now, and really change the trajectory of people's bone health, which is very exciting.
The
So,
crazy thing is, what is the follow-up on the DEXA? So mine was, whenever it was, a month ago, 2 months ago. So when is
yep.
that follow-up to see what my changes? Because that's also something that's really kinda cool,
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
that I don't know how much a DEXA costs for cash, but I'm assuming I could do it just because it'd be nice to be able to have another follow-up with those things to say, "Okay, what I'm doing is working," or "What
Yes.
I'm doing is not working, and why is it not working?"
Yep.
Is it the supplement? Is it that I need to do more of this? Or,
Yeah.
what lifestyle things do I need to continue to change? Because like
Yeah.
smoking, I don't smoke, but smoking obviously has something to do with bone quality.
Totally.
So you'll have
Yep.
osteoporosis with that. Certain cultures have a higher risk of osteoporosis, like Asians, and have a really, if you're thin, fragile, if you're a thin bone
Yep.
person, you have
Yeah.
a history of that, or you have a risk of that.
Yep.
Alcohol diminishes bone quality as well. So it's
Totally.
like these kinds of things that you can actually change.
Yep.
It'd be nice to have a follow-up to see.
Well, and that's the hard part, right? Is like based off of current guidelines, which say 65 for a woman and 70 for a man, unless you have certain comorbidities. Currently, today, say if you're normal or mild osteopenia, you should only get screened one every 10 years. If you're
Yeah.
moderate, every 3 to 5 years. But we know those screenings are not
Yeah.
appropriate, right? So there isn't a ton out there today that says, well, Lisa, you have osteopenia at this grade. You really should be doing it annually. Now, you can absolutely cash buy a DEXA at any point in time, right? So maybe it's something that people will start to do every year or every other
Yeah.
year.
And the whole risk of it is if you fall and you break a hip, your
Yeah,
mortality increases significantly.
significantly,
You know that. I
significantly.
mean, you know that
I'm in
personally,
the thick of it. Yep, exactly.
and it's crazy if you can prevent that.
Absolutely.
Not even just a hip fracture, but even a compression fracture of your spine. You sit
Yes.
too hard
Yes.
on a chair. You step down off of a curb too hard. You
Yep.
can compress your vertebrae. It's like your vertebrae is like a Coke can, and it just like literally like you smash like a Coke can.
Yep.
Very painful. And over time, when you compress that spine, your
Mhm.
spine, you get osteoporotic. That's why everyone's like,
Yep.
"Oh, well, I was this height at this point. Now I'm,
Now
2
I'm
inches
not.
shorter," because
Exactly.
you literally compress over time. But an
Mhm.
osteoporotic compression fracture, very, very treatable,
Yeah.
and if you know these things ahead of time, because like I said, a compression fracture can happen when you lift something too heavy, when you step down from a curb too hard, if you sit on
Yep.
I'm thinking of like the baseball bleachers. Like those things are
Yep.
hard, you
They
know?
are hard, and if you sit there for hours at a time, you'll end up with
So
problems.
it's just one of those things where
Mhm.
I think it's really kind of cool to be able to try to figure that out.
Exactly. I mean, I just think about the things that we're finding, and everything that we're finding are things that we can adequately give you lifestyle, choices to help you make change now to drive big change later, right? Like we've
Yeah.
talked about you having a heart health history. So having the ability to look at certain things for your
Yeah.
heart now, osteoporosis, osteopenia, things like that, that you can go put on a weighted vest, go do some supplements, think
Yeah.
about things differently, and you're going
Yeah.
to have a totally different trajectory of the way this heads. But I was thinking about that day, and speaking of gratitude, because I'm about to ask you what you're grateful for, but I was very, very grateful. So I was grateful this week for what you taught me about thinking about things that I'm grateful for in the moment when I'm frustrated, because that actually has been a really great lesson over this last week, especially being in LA last week and just being so busy. Like I literally was gone 12 to 14
Yeah.
hours a day and in all these conversations. And it's so easy to sit and just think about how tired you are, right? Or how exhausted you are, or how your little introvert needs a recharge. And I just kept being like, okay, I'm tired tonight. But you know why? I'm so grateful that I've gotten to have these conversations this week. I'm so grateful I got to go to
Yeah.
dinner with so and so this week, right? So thank you for helping me trigger the way that I'm going to think about things sometimes, because it really did come in handy multiple times last week. So
You're welcome. I love that.
I appreciate it. So to end out our evening, what are you grateful for this week?
I am grateful that, well, I'm actually a little, summer's ending, but I am
Mhm.
grateful that Bugs had a good summer and we had a good
Good.
summer. We didn't go on any fancy trips or any of that kind of stuff, but
Yep.
it was busy, it was productive. And again, it's like there's so much to be grateful for. Wake up every day and
Yep.
I'm here,
Yep.
totally grateful, honestly, for the whole body experience because
Good.
I think that, I think it's very valuable. I really do.
Mhm.
And I think that there's a lot of people that would benefit a lot from it. It's
Right.
kind of worth it,
Yeah, absolutely.
and it's worth it either way. It's worth it if there's nothing wrong because now you know, and
Yep.
it's worth it if you find something. Because if you
Yeah,
find something
absolutely.
and you find something early, like we've talked about so many times,
Yep.
it's very treatable, and it's something that's much more manageable if you catch things early, and
Yeah.
you can figure it out, you can have a treatment plan, you have support,
Yep.
as opposed to almost too late,
Yeah,
So I'm
absolutely.
very grateful for,
Good.
being in that spot because I think it was
Good.
great. We still have one more
Yeah.
blood test to go. It is a little one of those things where you're like, "Oh
One more
god,
thing.
what are they gonna find?"
Yep.
Those things. And all of
Absolutely.
a sudden you're 52 years old, now your mortality, like, you're faced with your own
Yeah.
mortality a little bit. Every year gets a little bit more like that. It's weird.
Yep.
You don't never
Yep.
think about it ever again when you're younger, for sure.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you're like,
Totally.
"Oh,"
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
so
That's awesome. Well, a couple things that I'm grateful for this week is that we actually worked on whole body and kind of finalized pricing and finalized price structure. And
oh,
so
good.
the price is $2,000 now for whole body, which I think is a really great price for
Yeah,
really thinking about the level of stuff that's out there and how much is testing and what the experience is. Another thing that I'm really grateful for is that I recently had someone who's very passionate in the women's health space come through whole body and say, this is exactly what women's health needs, and this is what women need. And this is
awesome.
an amazing product for going forward. So, very, very grateful for that. And then, honestly, the last thing I'm grateful for is I got to just go clinic to clinic and talk about the product. It just made me so proud to think about like, this is something we designed and made from scratch and really thought about what was important about the product, and to just hear the feedback from patients who've gone through it and staff that are doing it, and just so grateful to kind of get to build something that really I think is going to drive a lot of positive change for people. So
Good.
very, very grateful for
Are
this
you gonna
weekend
keep
whole
it
body.
in that office, or are you gonna go to
Correct. For right now, it'll stay there. And then we'll hope to expand to future offices in the future once we start to get that volume that the first clinic needs. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Awesome. Well, have a great night, my friend.
You too.
And it was so good to see your face.